Marvelicious Toys is brought to you in part by Dorkside Toys. At DorksideToys.com, you can get the latest Marvel toys, as well as Star Wars, G.I. Joe, The Walking Dead, and more. Run by toy fans, you can be assured your order will be given great attention and packed with care. Sign up to their social channels now for stock alerts, reviews, and toy and movie news. DorksideToys.com. You'd be a dork not to shop there. Welcome to Marvelicious Toys, coming to you from San Diego Comic-Con International. Hosted by Justin and his amazing friends, Arnie and Marjorie. Be sure to come to MarveliciousToys.com, where you can see hundreds of pictures of items shown on the convention floor, and join in the forum conversation with other listeners.
We're at the Kotobukiya Booth talking to Dan about some of the new awesome stuff they have in the booth. So let's, without further ado, let's get right into it.
Dan, you've got something here that's just astounding in the fine art statue line. Of course, Black Panther is going to be getting his due in just a couple years with a movie. You're beating it to the punch with this fine art statue.
Yeah, that was kind of the plan when we actually scheduled this character. Is we knew that there wasn't a whole lot of product out there for the Black Panther, and with the announcement that he would be getting his own film in a couple of years, we felt it was the perfect time to add him to the collection.
Yeah, and the detail on the base there with the panther head and the leaves on it and the vines, that is just really incredible. That's going to be shipping early next year?
That's what we're looking at. We haven't even started to get an estimate as to what the cost will be for the tooling and the manufacturing. Once we get all that information, we'll be able to put up together a formal solicitation to offer to our vendors. But most likely, we're looking at sometime mid to late 2016, if not earlier, hopefully earlier.
And you've been doing about 2 to 3 fine art statues in the Marvel line a year. Is that kind of the pace you're looking at keeping going forward?
I mean, ideally, we would like to have one every quarter, so for a year. We ran into a few snags this year, you know, with approvals and what have you. But hopefully we're back on track, and we'll be unveiling our next character at New York Comic Con. So, yeah, the wait will be a little shorter from before.
All right, and speaking of approvals, X-Men statues. I was mentioning on the show, I was happy because you had just released the art of the Magneto, or the photo of the Magneto, and it had been discussed by XM Studios that they were no longer able to make the Marvel statues they even had in sculpt. So I just want to say, I'm so glad this line is continuing. It looks amazing here.
Yeah, we were very pleased, too, that we'd be able to offer this to our fans and collectors. We had submitted the proposal quite a while ago, so I think that's part of the reason why it was allowed to move forward. Plus, Marvel has been very supportive of what we've been doing with ArtFX Plus, and we've been told that they're very pleased with what they're seeing, so maybe that had a little to do with it, too.
Yeah, it's just great. I mean, working with Adi, who is, you know, kind of the hot artist over there doing all the variant covers. He's doing the Star Wars stuff now.
Yeah.
And the representations here. And this is our first time, my first time seeing in person most of these, but especially the Magneto and then the sculpt for Magic.
Yeah, and actually, I mean, Magneto is the one that a lot of people are seeing and saying, I got to get this line. This is the entry point. This Magneto is kind of like our Hulk from the Avengers line. It's the one people want, and hopefully they'll stick around to get the other releases. Like, we've also got Rogue and Beast and Wolverine coming up, so there's a lot more that's in the works for this particular line.
And with this Magneto, I mean, the cape, the way it flows and everything, and the facial expression. And he's got a couple different outfits he's worn in the Marvel now. Was there any discussion about which color scheme to go with, or is it just this is what Adi drew?
Oh, no, definitely there's been a discussion, and I mean, the opportunity certainly exists that we might see a variation of his the color of his outfit further down the line. We haven't scheduled anything yet, but for this initial wave, for what we're doing here, this is the color that we'll be sticking to.
And then Magic, I just want to clarify, because we took a lot of photos. It looks like one of her headpieces snapped off. So.
Yeah, unfortunately, that does happen when items are traveling from Japan to the U.S., and I'm not sure what happened to it. It was lost somewhere, because we tend to like to glue those on if we can, but unfortunately, this piece, it just went missing.
And then you're keeping with the magnetic bases on the ArtFX Plus?
Yes, we'll be continuing that feature with this particular line. So every statue has a magnet in their feet, and then the base has a metal plate in there, so you can position it wherever you like.
Well, that kind of leads into something you've got way down here in the DC line.
We're gonna break protocol here a little
we're gonna
bit.
jump down here. We'll come back to Marvel.
Way down here, huh? I think I know which one we're talking about. Yeah, this kind of caught our eye, Dan. This is kind of neat. Looking at these Arkham Batman things, you've got these environmental pieces that seem to snap together in different configurations. Is that what we're seeing here?
Yeah, that's definitely what we're going for. And it's kind of like a module system where you can take the different pieces that are included in the set and build your own base. There's countless configurations. And we did several demonstrations here, and people had a lot of fun trying to put together different scenes and how the two statues can interact with one another.
So I guess the next obvious question is can us Marvel collectors expect to see something cool like this?
You know, certainly if this takes off, if it's well received, if you know, our pre-orders are strong and it does well at retail, there's no question that we might look into something like this moving forward with the Marvel line, either comic book based or movie based.
Excellent. That would be really neat.
Yeah, because I mean, we love the statues, and the black bases are very, you know, good to lock together and they can share. But when we saw this, you know, and Batman's such a great character, and the Arkham Knight especially, just such a dynamic representation. When we saw this, it's like, oh wow, we, you know, I don't want to buy the figures or just to get the bases and put them with the other artifacts.
Yeah, and another neat feature is you can see the holes in all the walls and stuff. Those are actually been drilled to accommodate certain figure stands, you know, from other manufacturers. So you can actually put those figure stands in those holes. So if you have, say, you know, Bandai product or whatever, you can put those bases in there, and then you can use these particular bases to create a new scene for other products. So it's just being flexible and trying something new, and yeah, I think it's going to be really well received.
Yeah, very awesome, and you know, kind of unusual for what we talk about, but
yeah,
it really caught our eye over here.
Cool.
Then just to get back to Marvel a little bit, I mean, we've talked about some of the other artifacts, plus the Hulkbuster Hulk, of course, amazing, and the Avengers all out now, tremendous. And then you got the Bishojo line going.
Yeah, I mean, Bishojo has always been one of our strongest lines and one of our most highly anticipated lines. Every single new character that's added to it is always, there's a high level of speculation who we're going to add next to the line. So we're showing Wasp here with her new translucent type of wings going on there. Very well received with that iridescent-like look to it, the rainbow shimmer. And then Red She-Hulk is seen here. She was our San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, and she sold out Friday. She sold out, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm glad I ordered that online.
Yeah. So, you know, it's always nice to see the product move quickly, and the pre-order was open for a good number of days. So, you know, we're happy to be able to offer that also to fans that weren't able to attend this convention. And then we're showing Lady Deadpool for the very first time.
Yeah, and I know that's one of Justin's favorite characters, the whole Deadpool family there.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate that, you know, we're seeing both masked and unmasked version. And, you know, with the the masked version, this almost could live in any other line. It, you know, doesn't have to be Bishojo. That could be an FX line right there, you know. Yeah. And, you know, with the unmasked face, that's where brings it into the Bishojo line very, very nicely.
Yeah, and I'm glad that we're able to offer that added feature of the additional portrait and the additional piece where she's actually holding the mask. So collectors who prefer the portraits that Yamashita-san does for these characters can have her unmasked, but someone who wants her more true to the comic book art can have her masked. So it's just about flexibility in how you display the piece.
And with Lady Deadpool, one question that we had was about the scale. Because you've got, you know, several Bishojos here. Jubilee's a little shorter. Wasp, she's on a pedestal, but it looks like she's kind of splitting the difference between Jubilee and She-Hulk. Lady Deadpool there, if you count the hair, is actually taller than She-Hulk.
Well, there's two things to keep in mind. Number one, that this is a prototype, and in the manufacturing process, she will shrink down a little.
Okay.
Number two, these are hand sculpted, so there will be those differences because they're not all done by the same artist. So when they are sculpted, sometimes there are some slight variations in the scale. It does happen, and we understand that collectors tend to want to have everything in a similar scale, so we try our hardest, but sometimes it does happen where maybe one release might be a little larger than the other.
Okay. Hey, yeah, I just wanted to ask, especially because, like you say, with the prototype being a little bit larger or something, I wanted to make sure about that.
And then finally, we're actually making a brand new announcement that we're adding Spider-Gwen to the Bishoujo lines. And a lot of people have been real excited to hear that.
Now, Spider-Gwen's kind of an interesting character for the Bishoujo line in my mind, because I love the Bishoujo line. Our viewers know that, and I've talked to you a lot about it.
Yeah.
Spider-Gwen seems kind of like a next-gen hero. She's brand new. She's come out at a time where it feels like the population was crying for strong female heroes that weren't, they passed the Turing test where they're not just, a girlfriend and all of that. And Spider-Gwen's kind of filled that. And she's not been, as in the comics and things that I've read, they've not done those pinups like they've done for, say, at the old Ms. Marvel or Spider-Woman and things. So how do you see Kotobukiya kind of maneuvering that so that the people who are very happy about a non-sexualized female hero going into the very pretty and attractive Bishoujo line?
Yeah, I mean, and that's always something that, a fine balance that we always have to take into consideration, and not to sidetrack this discussion, but with our Mass Effect Bishoujo, we encountered that with Liara. And so we kind of scaled it back a bit with the female, the Commander Shepard, and even so more with Tali. So I see that trend continuing with the Marvel line somewhat, especially with characters like Spider-Gwen, and taking all of that into consideration when the artist creates the artwork and when we submit it for approval. And from the very beginning, we try to take that into account.
Okay, great. I was just curious about that because, our forums, our Facebook page, people are just all talking about Spider-Gwen these days. And
yeah.
I'm happy to see her represented in the line.
Yeah, she's definitely a hot character right now, and I think it's timely with all the activity you're going to be seeing with the Spider-Verse and Spider-Man. So, yeah, I think it was going to be a great addition to the line.
And then I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask about what's going forward, like just general directions. Obviously, you've announced what you're going to announce in the way of product, but we know the Artie Granov X-Men are doing well. Are you looking towards doing another series, possibly, of Artifacts Plus?
There will be, and this is a first-time announcement, there will be another series of Marvel Artifacts Plus statues after the X-Men. That's all I'm going to say.
That's all I want you to say, but I'm really happy to hear you say it.
And I'm really excited because I've seen the lineup, and it's really cool.
Oh, man, that's tremendous. And then, we kind of talked with the fine art about how many per year. Are you looking at a guess of number of Bishoujo releases for 16?
I mean, at a minimum, we'll probably be at 3, but ideally 4. And like I said, we'll be unveiling the next character at New York Comic Con. So yeah, we're on track.
All right, well, great, Dan. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you.
Thank you, Arnie.
Thanks for watching this video. You can see full episodes of Marvelicious Toys with more collecting news and reviews at marvelicioustoys.com. We also have thousands of toy and collectible photos in our photo gallery. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, make mine Marvelicious.